What is up, folks? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. I just got to give a huge shout out to LA Thieves and Nadeshot. I'm not going to lie. Nadeshot went off in a recent pre-show that I'm going to use for probably a couple of videos. So make sure to go check them out as well because he's got some great one-offs. It seemed to me when I was watching his pre-show that Nadeshot was pretty fed up with a lot of things inside the Call of Duty space. And one in particular, one of my more, I would say, favorite segments of his is when he called out FaZe Simp. Simp, if you guys don't know, has been more in the limelight as of late. I wouldn't say anything too dramatic, maybe being called out by some pros, mostly also responding to a lot of them. I believe Clayster was in there. I think Sensor was in there. He had some Twitter drama with some donation button things. He's been in the limelight a lot more frequently, what Nadeshot calls the villain card this year than he has probably all of his Call of Duty career so far. Something I didn't really have a problem with, but when someone like Nadeshot gives you a direct message, maybe you do want to listen. And I found it curious because Nadeshots Perspective is certainly a very curious one. A former pro, now owner of one of the biggest teams in all of esports. So it was really cool to hear Nadeshots' message directly to FaZe Simp.
Warzone, because it is bringing in the viewership, and there is, you know, a lot of companies that want to get involved with it. I don't want competitive COD to get pushed to the side.
Yeah. Well,
oh yeah, I know you can't say nothing about that. I can though.
Can we talk about?
You know, because Matt will get fired.
Can I bring up a topic that's on script?
Yeah, go for it. I'm just
because now I kind of want to talk about the kickoff event and the matchups, but I want to talk about Simp.
Sure.
I really do.
Oh, wait, I already know what you're gonna say.
Let's chat about him.
I don't know what's going on.
I beat his little. No.
Listen. I am a huge fan of Simp, and I'm gonna let you guys talk, but I just need to. Let me finish. I need to get this whole thought out. I am such a big fan of Simp just because of his raw talent, and he reached out to me back in the day on Black Ops 4 when he was still part of E United, saying I wanted to play with 100 Thieves. I want to be on the team. And at the time, we didn't have the opportunity.
You tell me I could have had Simp, but instead I had Octane?
No.
Yeah, pretty much. Nah, he just wasn't
you might
of
have
age
been
yet.
gone for Simp.
Listen, I'm not trying to preach. I'm not trying to tell Simp what to do. But I'm just gonna lend unsolicited advice. Simp, you are too talented and you are too good at the game. And your impact that you have on this competitive community in 2 short years has been so incredibly massive. Whatever you're doing on social and trying to play this villain role or clapping back at individuals, of course you don't want to stay silent. It sucks to get negative tweets. When people are ganging up on you, there's no worse feeling. I've been there before. I promise you understand it. But I'm telling you, brother, long run for your career, put a smile on, keep pushing, and stay positive. Like, that sounds very cliche, and you can take your shots when the opportunity arises in the right moment, but it's got to be tasteful, and there has to be humility behind it. I just think that you're doing yourself in the amount of skill that you have in those thumbs of yours, that head of yours, you are doing yourself an incredible disservice to your legacy by clapping back on people on Twitter and talking shit to other players, and really just, it's uncharacteristic of what I've seen from Simp, because in his first 2 years, he was doing so good, and he was like the kid that everybody loved to love.
I mean, to play devil's advocate, I think part of it has been like he's been so damn dominant the past 2 years. Like, he's talking his shit, and I think it goes back to what you said about being like the tasteful thing and just like doing it the right way. Like, go talk shit to someone like a Kenny or a Crim6 or someone who's loud and obnoxious. Like, that's what I was talking to Crowder about. I was like, Draws is like the nicest kid in the world. He was just like tweeting about a smoke grenade or something, and Simp's coming at his neck.
I see
but it'll be good for the little rivalry, little storylines. Like, we're playing them this weekend. Should be a fun one.
I want the rivalries too, and the last thing I'll say, but even the stuff about, you know, when he got that super follow stuff enabled on Twitter, and he's like, hey, if you want to donate me money on Twitter, feel free. I'm like, brother,
I'm about to tweet on my PayPal.
You're getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you could be streaming, making even more money. You don't need to be asking your fans for cash.
I'll be honest.
And again, that's just from a humility standpoint, and like, I don't want to sound like I'm his parent or anything like that.
Too long.
I just
didn't
want
listen.
I just want the best.
I just want to hear Ian's take on this, because I feel like if Twitter gave Ian a button and just donate to him, he'd be pumping that out daily.
Hey, sub to my Patreon. Dude, the thing is
And I do want to interject. Very clearly, Nadeshot's not coming at his throat, right? He corrects himself several times throughout this, saying, you know, I love the guy. Obviously, I love his talent. He is that talented at Call of Duty. And I also I had a solo video done. I'll probably share with you guys one day around this drama of Simp having a donation button on his Twitter, which I didn't think was too big of a deal. But then you hear Nadeshots Perspective, and it maybe changes your thoughts on that. I thought it was a pretty big joke to be involved in, but pretty much Simp had, tweeted out, yo, I got a donation button, received a lot of flack and hate for it, and then later responded saying, sorry for it, and was going back and forth. So that was what that was about. Not too big of a deal, but Nadeshot did continue.
He's still young. He's still a young kid.
Absolutely. 100%.
We've all been there. Well, at least I know I definitely have. But you're right in the sense of, and it's not just him. I think Call of Duty has always been about drama, like within the professional scene. Even that's why some of the biggest names on Twitter are from Call of Duty, because there's always something, whether it be Krim or Aches, in that villain role, creating some sort of unnecessary drama. But that's like who they are. Does that make sense? Like when you think of Krim, you're like, yo,
you are absolutely right.
Crazy.
Yeah. You're absolutely
Simp,
right.
You think of a quiet, soft-spoken kid who's unbelievably talented. But I think, like you said, he's trying to push this narrative as a villain to create these storylines where it's like, just be yourself, stream, even if you don't have to act like someone you're not, but if you just are authentically you, put a smile on, he'll have so much to look forward to after his career. And he's already made like over $1 million. So yeah, I don't know why he's got the super. When he tweeted the super, so that was like,
he just put a target on his back.
And the thing is you can't double down. If you mess up in the eyes of everyone, it's on the internet, it's there forever. You just got to admit, yeah, that wasn't the best. I don't know what I was doing. He doubled down and was like, what? I was just telling all the homies who support me, like, if they want to, send me some cash, you can. It was like, come on.
You're absolutely right, though. And I had this conversation with somebody else the other day, not about Simp, but I always forget that Simp is like, what, 20 years old, 19 years old?
He's young.
Dog, I am literally a decade older than him, and I had to learn through my own mistakes and my own shortcomings and my own missteps. A lot of these players are very, 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 very young, and they're thrusted into a spotlight that not a lot of people will ever get to experience, and they can't walk in the shoes that Simp does. So that's true. And I need to before I even bring stuff up on a podcast, I need to understand those things and remember I got a decade on this kid, and he's in a situation that not a lot of people will experience. And so we don't know what that feels like or what's going on in his head. So I think you need to give him a benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, you definitely do. But at the same time, it's good to bring it up, not saying that all he has is yes men by him. But, it's the same thing with anyone who is super successful in entertainment, in a sport, whatever the case may be. People are going to kind of let you go off the rails and not say anything if they're a part of your circle, but it's always the people that will tell you, like, no, you shouldn't do this. Like, I experienced the same things that you're going through right now because of how you're acting.
But it's one of those things.
It's good to have. It's not like you're coming at him maliciously.
Yeah, but it's like I could shoot him a DM. But again, unsolicited advice. I don't need to bring it up on a podcast. The shit was just something I was thinking about.
You have an odd way of thinking, but I'm just letting you rock.
Well, I mean, you're trying to drive some entertainment. This is the shit that people really care about. Yeah. It's like we can sit here and talk about Caldera and the competitive Call of Duty ecosystem all day, but this is what people are really want to know more about.
I don't think there's anything wrong with
I just think he's a great kid, and he needs to keep his head down, keep working.
And I think it's really cool that we are in a space, and few other esports actually have this kind of dynamic where you have a former player and now owner of an esports team giving you advice. Obviously, Simp can take some of this. I think Simp does a lot of great things, including, of course, being a great talent and making great content, but it's certainly a rarity. Like, you're not going to see League of Legends pros or CSGO pros being talked to by a former player and now owner. Reginald has done it in League of Legends, but when he did it, it was pretty condescending and rude and mentioning how a player, if they didn't have the league, they'd be working at McDonald's, right? This is not what Nadeshot is saying in the situation. It's pretty rare, the situation where Nadeshot is now talking to Simp, giving him some friendly advice around the circumstances that have evolved so far this season, with Simp kind of playing this villain card, right? Which I certainly have enjoyed. So it's really cool to mark in history the Nadeshot message to Simp, and maybe we look back on this 2 to 3 years from now, and who knows where Simp's going to be? Who knows where Nadeshot's going to be? What do you guys think about the advice? Till next time, do me a favor, drink up. Okay, bye.